Hi everyone, my name is Monique.
And I'm Naveen from Before You Play.
And today we're going to be doing a 2-player playthrough of a game that is currently on Kickstarter called Iliad.
Yes, this game is designed by Reiner Knizia and published by Bitewing Games, who are helping sponsor this playthrough. And in this game, we are taking on the roles of Hector and Achilles, trying to recreate the Trojan War in a 2-player only tile-laying game.
Yes, this is one of 2 Reiner Knizia games that are part of the Mythos collection. And so if you are interested in checking out the other gameplay that we have, we've included a link to it in the description below. And so today, as per usual, we are going to start with the teach of the game, and we'll go straight to our 2-player playthrough. If you'd like to jump around, we'll include timestamps in the description below.
Now, we do have to mention this is a prototype copy of the game, so things are subject to change in the future. If you are interested in the campaign, there is that link, of course, which you can check out. And lastly, if you like these kind of videos and you want to see more in the future, please consider subscribing.
And with that, we are ready to begin. So if you'd please direct your attention to the center of the table, we're all set up here for a 2-player game of Iliad. Welcome to the Trojan War.
The Battlegrounds.
Now, like we're mentioning, in this game, 2 players will compete in order to win the favors of 5 different gods. These gods are represented by success tokens that are surrounding the board. And so we have white tokens that represent Zeus, the yellow tokens who represents Apollo, purple for Aphrodite, blue for Poseidon, and finally the pink tokens that represent Athena. And so the way that the game works is one player plays as Hector, aka the blue player, and the other plays as Achilles, or the red player.
Yep.
And so each player has an identical set of tiles. They're going to be numbered 1 through 5, as well as these Dolos tiles. And there are 3 copies of each. And so over the course of the game, players will be taking turns placing a tile from their hand in order to have the highest sum whenever a row or column is completed. And at the end of the game, as soon as all spaces have been filled, the one player who is able to collect all 5 different god tokens or 4 different gods and both wedding rings wins the game, as long as they are the only player to do so. But as you can see, there are other values of tokens, including negative values. And so if, at the end of the game, both players meet their victory condition or neither of them do, then we'll add the values of our tokens in order to see who wins.
There's a little bit more to scoring, which we'll talk about after we teach the game.
Right. Now, at the start of the game, players draw 2 tiles and randomly place them in the center of the board. So that is why we already have 4 starting tiles. And just so you know, we are playing with some deluxe components. In the retail version of the game, these tiles will not be wooden, they'll be thick cardboard. And the bags that we'll be drawing from are also upgraded components. In the retail version, you'll simply place your tiles in stacks. And so at the start of the game, each player will draw 2 tiles to start their hand. Now, turn structure is very simple. On your turn, you're going to choose one of the 2 tiles in your hand, and you'll place it on the board on one of your colored spaces. And so as you can see, the colors alternate, which means you'll always be placing your tile neighboring one of your opponent's tiles. Because another placement rule is you must place a tile that is adjacent to one that is already on the board. So as an example, on my turn, I could place this tile here because it is on my space and it's adjacent to a tile already there. Then, before ending your turn, tile values 1 through 4 each have a special ability that you can optionally activate. Tiles with a value of 1 and 2 are both very similar in that they allow you to relocate a tile that's already on the board, but the difference is value 1 tiles allow you to relocate an opponent's tile, which is why I have a red tile showing on my value 1. And value 2 tiles allow you to relocate one of your own. But in both cases, the tile you move must be accessible. And accessibility here means that there must be at least one adjacent space that is empty. So in this example, since I placed the 2, I can choose to, say, relocate my 4 and place it on this spot, because when relocating it, it still has to be a valid placement, and any powers on the relocated tile you would not resolve.
So as an example of an inaccessible tile, if the board state looks something like this and Monique had just played her 2, she cannot move her own tile here because all 4 sides are covered.
Right, and same holds true for any tiles that are along an edge. The edge does not count as an open space, and so if both of these spaces were filled with tiles, then this would also be inaccessible.
Yep.
Now moving on to value number 3, this tile allows you to switch one of the tokens in front of you with one of the 5 that are off the board. And so over the course of the game, there will always be 5 available. And as you'll see, players will be forced to take negative value tokens. So playing your value 3 is a good way to switch them out for positive ones.
Or to get some of the god tiles that you don't already have.
And finally, the last tile is the value 4, which allows you to flip over an adjacent tile as well as itself. So if I were to place this here, I could choose to flip over the tile that I placed as well as my neighboring opponent's tile. Flipped over tiles still count as occupied spaces for filling the row and column, but they no longer have any value. And any tiles that are flipped over will never be flipped up again. And those are all of the different abilities that we're going to be activating. Now again, these are optional, but if you choose to do so, those effects must be taken immediately. In addition, we also have value 5s that don't have any additional effect because they are the strongest tile, as well as Dolos tiles that have no value at all. And so the way that these work is when scoring a row or column, so as an example, if this entire column were completely filled with tiles, they take the value of the sum of the neighboring 2 tiles, but only the ones that are in the filled column that you're scoring.
So in this case, this tile would be valued at 7 total.
Right. Now, if a Dolos tile were on the very edge, then it would only take the value of 1 adjacent tile, and any 2 adjacent Dolos tiles do not gain any value from each other. But that's essentially it. Those are all of the different tiles that you're going to see us place. And again, on your turn, you're only ever playing 1 tile from your hand. Now, if at the end of your turn, a column or a row is completely filled with tiles, then you'll score it by adding the sum of each player's values. And so in this example, me as a blue player, I have a total of 5, 6, 7 plus 4 is 11. And Naveen has a total of 7 because, again, this takes the values of the neighboring tiles plus 2 for 9.
So the player who has the highest total value gets their first choice of the 2 tiles that are on each end, and the other player will get the other one.
And that's essentially it. At the end of your turn, you'll always draw a new tile from your stack to replace the one that you placed out, and we continue playing like this until both players have placed out all of their tiles, which means the entire board will be filled and all of the tokens will be acquired. And again, at the end of the game, if only one player was able to either collect one of each type of god token or 4 different gods plus both of the wedding rings, then they win. However, if either both of them meet the victory condition or neither of them do, then you will add up all of the token values that you have in front of you, but you can only add the value of your highest token per god family. And at that point, whoever has the higher sum wins. And that's essentially how you play Iliad. So we're just gonna go ahead and get cleaned up and we'll get started with our playthrough.
Okay, we are ready to go. Everything has been reshuffled and redistributed. We have our 4 starting tiles. We just have to figure out who is going to be going first.
Odds or evens?
Sure, I will take odds.
All right.
1,
2, 3.
Evens.
All right, so it's going to be me.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and draw our starting hand of 2 tiles. Now, if you did not join us for the teach, please keep in mind that we are playing with deluxeified upgraded components. The retail version of this game is going to have thick cardboard pieces for the tiles, and it will not include a bag. All right, so let's see. Our starting tiles include some heavy hitters here. One of my value 4 tiles is already out, one of Naveen's value 5. And the only rule when randomly picking tiles to start the game is that you cannot have 2 of the same value for 1 player out. So then I'm going to go ahead and take my first turn, and I'm placing a value 1 tile here. Now, again, I'm the blue player, so all my tiles are going to go on blue squares, and it is adjacent to one already on the board, so it's legal. Now, the value 1 allows me to relocate a red tile, one of Naveen's pieces, as long as it's accessible, and only if I'd like to. I think I will. I'm going to go ahead and relocate the 5 to this space over here.
Interesting.
And that is it. No rows or columns are completed yet. It is very early, so I'm just going to end my turn by drawing a replacement tile for my bag. And now it's your turn, Naveen.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and also play a 1. I'll place it here.
Okay.
And this is going to allow me to manipulate one of yours. And I'm going to put your 4, and I'm going to place it here.
Oh.
Let's just move it out of that little spot.
Interesting.
There we go.
So then it's back to me, and I am going to place my 4, and I'm going to play it on this spot over here. Now, the ability of the 4 allows me to flip over an opponent's tile that's adjacent to it, as well as itself. So I don't want to lose the 4 value.
Yeah.
So I'm going to forgo taking that ability.
Sure.
And I'm just going to end my turn by drawing up, and now it is to you.
All right, since you did that, I will play the 2 here, and the 2 is going to allow me to move one of my own that's already on the board. This one is still accessible because it has 1 empty space, so let's just move that 5 that you manipulated and place it right here.
Ah.
That's a good spot.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, well, I am going to play my 5 as well. I'm going to place it next to yours. So value 5s don't have any effect, only 1 through 4.
Very good.
And that is it. So it's back to you.
This is a strong little area here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm just going to place this 3 out here. Now, I don't have anything to swap with, so I'm just going to forgo. I'm going to forgo swapping out, so
Right.
it's just going to be a 3.
Because the ability of the 3 allows you to exchange one of your own
Yep.
tokens with one from the side. So we don't have any tokens to start. So now it's back to me, and I'm placing another one of my 5s. Now, again, there are 3 of each type of tile in our stacks, and I'm placing it right there. And no rows or columns have been completed yet, but we are getting very close with a couple of rows.
Yeah. Okay, I'll place this 5 here.
Okay.
Just to kind of try to balance this out as much as
Oh
possible.
my gosh, this is such
I know.
a... Everybody is putting their strong values there.
I know.
So then it's back to me, and I am going to place this value 1 here, which allows me to relocate one of Naveen's accessible pieces, and I think I'm going to move this tile over here to close out the
Nice.
row. Now, one thing we didn't mention in the teach is what happens in the case of ties when you go to score a row or column. So right now, we have completed this row, which means we're going to score, and we're basically going to be collecting these 2 success tokens. And so we add up the values of both players' tiles. I have a total of 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
And Naveen also has 3, 4, 5. And in the case of a tie, whoever's turn it is gets to break ties, which means I get my first choice of these 2 tiles. And considering that this is the highest value tile
So you get the Apollo 8.
in Apollo's
So then I get the Athena
tokens.
2. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll take it.
I see.
That's it.
That's that.
So nothing else scores. But
Interesting.
that ends my turn. So now it's back to you.
Okay, I am going to force us to score another one. So I'm going to put this 4 here, and then I am going to enact its ability. So I'm going to flip over the 4, and then I'm going to flip over this 5, and I believe I win this one. So I have a total of 10 to your 9.
Yeah,
So
5, 10.
I know
so
I
you
just
get to
collected one
choose.
Athena. I'm going to get another one, but there's always those 3s out there that can help you swap them.
So I get minus 10.
Yeah.
Now, again, at the end of the game, you really only need one of each token per god family. And you'll only add up the highest values of your tokens if you either have a tie or if nobody gets to that victory condition. Now, I've collected a minus 10, which is not good, but hopefully we don't get to the point scoring.
You're trying to get all 5 gods, or you're trying to get the marriage rings.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and play a 3. And I'm going to place it down here. Now that we have collected tokens, I can now utilize that ability. So I'm going to swap out this minus 10 with the Athena 5 because there are no more of these tokens
That's the last one, yeah.
on the board. So if I want a chance at winning, I need to collect one of these. All right, that is it. So now it's back to you.
Okay, I will place out this 3, and now that I do have some tokens to swap, I will swap out my lower Athena for this purple one right here.
Oh, that's an Aphrodite 5.
Yep.
It's not the highest. The
Not the
highest one
highest.
is still on the board, but now we each are basically tied.
Tied.
So then it's back to me, and I'm going to play our first Dolos tile. Now, again, the value of this tile basically just takes the sum of its 2 neighboring tiles that basically belong to the other player, but only in the column or row that it's going to be scoring.
Right. Ooh, that's a good one.
So right now it's worth nothing for
Nothing.
this row, but for this column it's worth at least 5. All right, back to you.
Okay, I will play this 1. And
Okay.
with that 1, I get to manipulate one of yours. And I will take said tile, and I will just plop it right in here. So at least for this way, this is scoring only 2. But you have 2 plus another 4, so you're at 6 right there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Annoying. Now
jump to
this is
5.
not accessible.
No.
So I wouldn't be able to move it. Well, that's unfortunate. So I'm going to go ahead and take my next turn, and I'm placing a 4.
Oh.
I'm going to place it here. And again, I can utilize its ability, which I will do this time. I'm going to flip it over,
Killing my 5.
and I'm killing the 5. It's gone. This column has a total value of 1. So, all right, back to you.
Oh boy. Okay, I am gonna play my 2 all the way out over here, and then that allows me to move one of my own.
Yes.
And so I will move.
The 5. Oh, the 5?
I
Where are you
know,
going with that?
I know. Yeah, I'll move the 5. We're gonna move the 5 out of here. I'm gonna drop it into this slot right over
Whoa. What's that total? 5, 6, 7 to 1?
there. 7 to 1.
Oh boy.
Should just end it there.
So then it's back to me, and I'm going to play my 2. I'm just gonna fill
finish it
that
off
space
there.
right there. So that is going to score this row. But before I do, I'm going to relocate my 5.
Okay.
I'm going to place it up here. It is still adjacent to a tile that's on the board, so that's legal. And that's it. So let's go ahead and score this row.
Okay.
It looks like you have a total of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
And I have this dolos here that you placed here. So
Acts
this
like
is
a
a total of 5. 5, 6, 7 plus 4 is 11.
Yes.
So I edged you up by 1.
You want that one?
I'm taking this
So
one.
I get the rings.
So you get the wedding ring. I just have to make sure that you don't
I don't get this one.
get both wedding rings because it's either one of each type of god or 4 different gods and both wedding rings for victory. All right, that is it. So now it's back to you.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and play this 4 here. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to flip over that newly placed 5. Away you go.
You always
And I'm in
flip my-
control here now. Heck yeah.
Well, actually, not quite because I'm going to place my 2 and I'm going to place it down here.
Okay.
It'll allow me to relocate one of my own. So I'm going to move this over here.
Oh, nice.
So that's it. And that was
Alright.
fine because it was still accessible through one space.
Stinks.
And that's it. No completed rows or columns. You can, oh yeah, this has already been scored. So it doesn't get rescored.
I will place my 4 here, but I will omit taking this.
Oh, you're not
special
gonna
activity.
flip.
I won't flip.
Wow.
I like the 4.
So that was all 3 of your 4s because I
maybe.
believe you flipped me twice.
Maybe. Maybe. And you can definitely see I've placed all my 1s. So
Yeah,
you know I
because
can't
things
move
have
you
flipped
around.
3 times. I'm now seeing. I flipped 1, you flipped twice, which means all of your 4s are out.
So you know my 1s, 1, 2, 3 are out, and then you've assumed all my 4s are out, so it's possible. Yeah, maybe.
All right, well then back to me, and I'm going to put out another Dolos tile, and I'm going to place it right there.
I don't like that.
That's all.
Stinks.
So back to you.
Stinks. Well, I'll go ahead and place this 3 out here. And I'm going to use the ability to ditch the rings.
Really?
Well, yeah, why grind for the other one when I can just go grab one right now, right?
Okay.
So there you go. Knowing that I'm probably going to lose out on that blue, I'm going to take this Poseidon one.
Okay. Done?
That's me.
All right, well then back to me. I'm going to play my 2 in there. And before we resolve the column, I'm going to use its ability to move this before it's inaccessible. And I'm going to place it up here. So that was a 4 that I took basically from a row that wasn't going to score anymore.
Yeah.
And I made it a little bit more useful. Okay, so now this column is full.
Okay.
I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to your 3, 6.
You do.
So I'm going to take this one. Even though I already have it.
Okay, that's fine.
But
You
it's
can
better
swap
than
it out. I
better
get
than
a
-10.
-10.
And that is it for me.
Yep.
So now it is back to you. And we are
Ooh.
running out of tiles in the bag.
All tiles will be played.
But we are going to play out all of our tiles. All spaces will be filled.
Well, I think it's time to play one of mine. There we go.
A Dulles tile for
There
you.
we go.
Oh,
Boom. It's a
interesting.
good spot.
Okay.
I think that's a good. I hope it's a good spot.
So then it's back to me, and we actually have an interesting situation here. So I'm playing a Dolos tile. This is probably a really bad place to put it, but I'm looking at my other spaces right now, and none of those spaces are good places.
You can't even
either.
legally place here.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's on an edge, so Dolos tiles on the edge are not ideal because they'll only take the value of one neighboring tile. So I'm going to place it in here,
Scoring it.
like you did with that. And it's basically going to complete this column,
Horrible.
which doesn't have very many points at all.
Yeah.
So right now, the total looks like Naveen with 3. This Dolos tile has a value of 0 because it's only adjacent
on.
to a Dolos. And when 2 Dolos tiles are adjacent to each other, they do not reap any value from each other. My tile, however, does take the value of Naveen's. So we're tied at 3, but since it's my turn, I break ties.
Dang it.
So I'm going to go ahead and take this.
Oh no, you're one color away.
This goes
You need a blue.
to you. I need a blue.
Oh,
so
no.
protect the blues at all costs.
This blue's coming. Shoot.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
I think my game's over.
All right. Well,
Dang.
it's back to you.
Okay, not happy with everything that's going on. I will place this 5 right there. No
Okay.
special ability. Back to you.
All right. Well, the thing that's interesting is I only have these 3 spaces, but I can only play on these 2 spaces. Playing here will require us or will force us to score both the column and the row. So this better be good. And playing a tile here won't score anything. So my options are either choose one of the 2 in my hand to place there and potentially lose them both, or place somewhere where it's not going to pay off until later. So I think times might be a little bit desperate if I am tile counting because of this space here. I fear what you're going to do later.
Oh,
So I'm going to play a 3.
little swaps.
I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it here.
Okay.
It's not great because I'm basically going to lose both the column and the row. So desperate times calls for desperate measures. This may look like I'm doing better, but I absolutely need the blue if I even have a shot here. So before we score, I'm going to use that ability, and I'm going to swap out this 3
Sure.
for the wedding ring.
Oh,
So
the wedding ring, huh?
the wedding ring.
The one I threw away?
We're going to try to go for a wedding ring victory because
Trying.
at least that's always an option. So in this game, you're never safe.
Yeah.
You always
Yeah.
have to keep in mind all possible victory conditions.
Okay.
All right, that is it. So scoring the column first. If there's multiple, you can choose the order to score.
Okay.
In this column, it's you with 2 plus
7.
5 is 7, and I have 3 plus 1.
Yeah,
is
4.
4. So Naveen,
Well,
what would you
seeing
like?
as I'm missing Zeus, I'm going to take the big Zeus.
Okay.
Right there.
That was a win-win, really.
Yeah.
So
I think
that's
it's going to go
plus
down to points, so that might have been a
Yeah,
mistake.
this
but
was actually better for me, I think.
I think you're going to get the full 5, but so am I. So
Okay.
I need to have the full 5 to even go to points.
Right.
Is why. So,
That's true.
okay.
Okay, now this row, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to your 5, 6, and then this Dolos tile.
Yeah.
6 plus these 2, which is
11.
a total of 11. Naveen?
Yeah, well, this is going to complete my set here, so I'm there. I have all
You're-
5.
You have all 5.
I do.
How did we get here?
Yeah, so I'm in a winning position. The only thing is, all
Oh,
you're missing is
no.
what, blue?
Well, I'm missing blue and / or a wedding ring. Now, I really need either a blue token or the other wedding ring to even go to, like Naveen said, scoring points.
Yep.
Because it looks like the best that we can do here is going for a tie, where we'll have to score the sum of our tiles. All right, that is it for me. So now it goes back to you.
All right.
My
so-
bag is empty,
Yeah,
which means
you
I'm
know
on
your
the last
tiles.
2. Yeah.
Well, you called it. This is coming in. So we are going to score this one right here.
it.
Okay, so let's go ahead and count it up from the top to bottom. So you have 4, 8, and then because this is here, 9, 10. To my, this is 4 plus 4 is 8, 9, 10. So because it's a tie,
Yes.
I'm going to take it. And then I'm going to take the 6, which is going to enhance my end game score. Like that. And then you're going to take the negative 10.
I'm going to take the negative 10.
Yes.
It does. It only enhances your score in the sense that you took a higher value. Because if we go to points, again, you're only adding up the highest value token of each representative god.
Yeah, so this would level me up by technically 4 points.
Right.
Because I went from a 2 to a 6.
And now I'm forced to play here. This is
Okay.
my only valid placement spot, which is interesting because even if I played any tile here that allows me to relocate your tiles, nothing would be accessible
Yes.
if I were to cover this spot. Because all of these are inaccessible. These are the only tiles, and they're all mine.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to play
Oh, the
this
old 5.
The old 5, the last 5 that was in my hand.
That's good.
And you, would you like to play there or there?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play out this tile there.
Your Dolos.
Dolos.
Oh no, I need this wedding ring.
You do.
You're trying to reap
I
the
am.
value
I
of
am,
my
whatever that
tile.
is.
And I have no choice. I only have one spot and one tile, so it is this. I really wanted this tile to come up earlier so that I could, move some of your tiles. But again, placing this here makes it so that I cannot use the ability because there are no accessible red tiles.
Everything is locked.
So that's it. We have to score this now.
Okay.
This column. So I have a total of 1, 2, 3 plus 5 is 8.
8.
You have 5, 6 plus 3.
7, 8, 9.
9.
I'll
So
take
you're
the
gonna
ring,
take the
and I'll let
ring.
you have the negative
Okay,
3.
well, I only have one chance now. And it
Well-
is this blue tile. Naveen,
Well,
do I get
I'm
it?
in the winning position here, right?
Okay.
Unfortunately, I have no choice, and I have to play this one. This was such a good tile
Nice.
for you.
Yeah, the Dolos tiles they make all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So that is it. And you know what? Before we score these, I just realized that when you placed this tile, we were supposed to
yeah.
score this row.
We were.
Nothing changes, but we do have to score it. So I have 2
That's it.
to nothing.
To nothing, to nothing.
To nothing, and
Yeah.
you have nothing 2.
Oh, 2. Oh, and I'm the one that placed it.
And it was your turn.
That is true. I will take this.
Oh, it's minus 3
and give
points
you
for
negative
me.
3. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yes,
Good call.
absolutely. I'm glad that we remembered the order of things. So now that you place that, we're going to score the...
So let's resolve this one, and then we'll
column.
resolve this one, okay?
Okay. So for you, it's 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 2 is 8.
8.
I have 3, 4 plus 6.
Plus 6, so
is
10.
The
You
thing that's
need the
interesting
blue.
is
Yeah.
I need the blue to even be considered part of the victory, I guess.
Yeah, you have to take the blue. Otherwise, I win.
I need the plus 10 also.
So I'll take the plus 10,
you'll
which
take
will
the
be
plus
great
10.
to negate out that one
Oh
right there.
my goodness, this is bad.
That was good.
And then the bro, Naveen has 2, plus 3 is 5, plus 2 is 7 to my 5.
I'll take negative 3, and you can have negative 5.
Of course.
There we
All
go.
right. That is it. That
That's
is
it.
the end of the game. We have played out all of our tiles. The board is filled. So let's go into final scoring.
Okay.
First things first, we're going to check for victory, and we already kind of discussed how that goes. Do you have one of each
I do.
tile?
I have Apollo, Zeus, Poseidon, Athena, and Aphrodite.
And I also have one of each. Wedding rings didn't matter because we were
Nothing.
both able to acquire one of each. So then we calculate the sum of our tiles, but for the god tiles, only the highest value
Yeah, so
in each god tile.
I can take away this 3 and 2 and just really keep it off to the side. It would be like another tiebreaker.
Yes,
So let's just keep
it's
that
another
over there. Yeah.
tiebreaker. Okay, so should I go first?
Sure.
All right, these two cancel each other out. It's plus 10 and minus 10,
Okay.
right? So I definitely think I lost this.
Let's find out.
So 5 and 5 cancel out. 5 and 3 and the 8.
Oh, very good.
Okay, so now I'm at 14, right? Minus 3 is 11.
Yeah.
Plus 6 is 17.
17.
17 total. How about
All
you?
right, so let's say the wedding ring's out.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the wedding's off. These two cancel.
Okay.
This 8 will cancel with this.
Uh-huh.
And then that leaves me with 8 plus another 6, 14, 19, 23.
Wow.
There we go.
You did it. You won the god's favor.
Yeah, you really put me to the stress there, though, when you put down that 1. And I was like just buying as much time as possible.
Yeah.
And I knew I needed that plus 10 because you were going to always get that blue.
I mean, you started it with the Dolos maneuvering. When
I
you
did.
placed my tile here, I felt that was like the first act of aggression in this Trojan War.
I needed that out because so I drew my Dolos at the very end, but it's nice to have it when there's a lot of overhang and you can kind of see the different, the higher values that you can kind of leech off of. So you had a really good spot there, and I didn't have any other way to manipulate my own nor your own. And I couldn't flip once we discovered that I played all my 1s and my 4s. So it was really like, oh, what do I play to make sure that I can outscore you at least at the end?
Yes, it is. It is a bit of a tough puzzle trying to figure out exactly where to place your tiles because you don't know what's going to happen in the end or which tile order people are going to draw. But that is it. You are the winner today. Well
Thank
played.
you. Yeah. Well, there you have it. That is Iliad. That is one of 2 games that are part of the Mythos collection from Bitewing Games. This game is currently on Kickstarter, so if you are interested in the campaign, there is a link in the description, which you can check out at your leisure. If you have any questions about anything you saw here, also feel free to leave them in the comments down below. We'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you all so much for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.